A leaked internal Google document just hit the internet and it says Gemini 3.0 might drop very, very soon. Tech outlets are covering it and everyone's scrambling to figure out what this means for GPT-5, for your workflow, and for the AI race in general. So let me cut through the noise and show you what's actually happening. You'll know what Gemini 3.0 could be, how it compares to GPT-5, which Google models might power it, which features are confirmed, and which are speculation. And most importantly, whether you should care right now. So let's get into it. So here's how this started. On October 14th, a user on X posted a blurry photo of what looks like an internal Google planning table. The table shows a timeline of product milestones, and one row reads Gemini 3.0 launch moment with a date October 22nd, 2025. Within hours, tech outlets started covering it. 9 to 5 Google called it dubious. Android Authority said the document looks somewhat legitimate, but warned there's no way to verify it. Mishal Rahman, a well-known Android researcher, weighed in and said the layout matches Google's internal planning docs, but that doesn't mean the content is accurate. Fandroid and Data Economy ran with it, though both added heavy disclaimers. Quick thing before we dive in, updates like Gemini 3.0 happen in our space every few weeks now. If you want to stay current without burning out, I've been using Ask AI Master inside AI Master Pro, but more about it later. Here's what makes this tricky. The document style does look consistent with how Google structures internal roadmaps. The timeline includes other known events like Gemini Enterprise, which did launch on October 9th. So the leak isn't just random noise, it's plausible. But plausible doesn't mean confirmed. Google has not announced a launch date. No press release, no teaser, no developer preview invite. We're flying blind. So why cover it? Because even if the date is wrong, the features and model references in the leak line up with code commits, public beta strings, and recent Google behavior. There's signal here, even if the noise is loud. Let's break down what we actually know. First, for now, Gemini 2.5 Pro exists. It launched March 25th, 2025, and it's the baseline for whatever comes next. Google has been iterating fast. 2.5 Flash, 2.5 computer use, Nano Banana image model, and enterprise tools all dropped in the past few months. So a 3.0 rollout isn't crazy timing. Second, there are code references. Developers have spotted strings in Google's API docs and beta builds that mention Gemini Beta 3.0 Pro and Gemini Beta 3.0 Flash. These aren't fan fiction. They're in the wild. That tells us Google is testing something internally under the 3.0 label. Third, the thinking capability is real. The leaked table mentions it, and we know Google's been working on advanced reasoning models. OpenAI and Anthropic has extended thinking models, and Google can't afford to sit out that race just with the 2.5 Pro model. A reasoning-focused Gemini makes strategic sense. Fourth, Gemini Enterprise launched October 9th. This is a big deal because it's Google's play for corporate AI agents. Tools that can book meetings, draft emails, analyze documents, all inside your company workspace. If you're launching an enterprise product, you want a flagship model to anchor it. Gemini 3.0 would be that anchor. Finally, timing. OpenAI released the agent feature in July and then GPT-5 in August. It's faster, smarter, and it raised the bar. Google needs to respond, and October would be a smart window. Post GPT-5 hype, pre-holiday decision cycles, right when enterprises are locking in 2026 budgets. So that's the bedrock. 2.5 Pro exists, code references are real, reasoning is a focus, enterprise just launched, and the competitive pressure is massive. Now let's talk about what people think is coming. Here's where we move from confirmed to speculative. Take all of this with skepticism, but also understand it's not pulled from thin air. These are educated guesses based on leaks, benchmarks, and Google's own roadmap hints. Agent capabilities. This is the headline feature. Gemini 3.0 is expected to be a true agentic model, meaning it doesn't just answer questions, it takes actions. Book a flight, update a spreadsheet, send a follow-up email, all in one workflow. Think of it as ChatGPT advanced voice mode meets Zapier, but native to Google Workspace. The leaked doc explicitly mentions agent capabilities, and that tracks with Gemini Enterprise. Improved reasoning. The leak references a enhanced reasoning mode, which sounds like Google's answer to OpenAI's GPT-5. Longer inference times, better logic, fewer hallucinations. If this is real, it'd be huge for coding, research, and complex problem solving. Better SVG and graphics. One specific claim in the leak is that Gemini 3.0 will handle SVG files better than 2.5. That's weirdly specific, which makes it feel credible. If true, it means better diagrams, better code visualization, better UI design workflows, multimodal enhancements. Google's been integrating VO for video, Imagen for images, and Gemini Nano for on-device processing. The 3.0 model is expected to unify these: real-time video analysis, better image generation, seamless handoff between cloud and local inference. That's the pitch anyway. Expanded context windows. GPT-5 can handle massive contexts, up to 128,000 tokens in some configurations. Gemini 2.5 tops out around 2 million tokens in specialized modes, but practical limits are lower. Gemini 3.0 could push that further, especially for document analysis and enterprise use cases. Speed. Flash variants are supposed to be faster. If Gemini Beta 3.0 Flash is real, expect sub-second response times for most queries. That's table stakes now. Users won't tolerate lag, so that's the wish list. Agents, reasoning, graphics, multimodal, context, speed. Some of this is confirmed by code, some is speculation. We'll know more if October 22 is real. Look, if you're watching this, you probably felt that moment of overwhelm. A leak drops, tech outlets scramble, you're Googling Gemini 3.0 versus GPT-5, opening 12 tabs, watching 3 reaction videos, and by the end, you still don't know what to actually do with it. That's why I built AI Master Pro. It's not another course dump or hype newsletter, it's your home base for AI. One place where learning actually turns into results. What's inside? 100+ bite-sized lessons that break down AI foundations without the fluff. AI tools built for real work. Ask AI Master for coaching, AI Art Studio, prompt creator, voice booth, deep research. The AI Master method, a 4-week action sprint that takes you from I want to use AI to I'm selling AI services with templates, workflows, and community support. And Prompt Lab Pro with 300+ ready-to-use prompts for funnels, content, automation, and so on. If you want to go from AI news consumer to AI builder, links in the description. All right, let's talk about the features everyone's speculating on. Let's talk competition. GPT-5 launched in August, and it's a beast. Faster than GPT-4, smarter reasoning, better coding, tighter integration with third-party tools. It set a new baseline. So where does Gemini 3.0 fit? On reasoning, the rumored enhanced thinking mode could match or beat GPT-5, especially on math and technical tasks. OpenAI's GPT-5 is still ahead on pure logic, but if Gemini 3.0 is close, that's a win for Google. On speed, GPT-5 fast mode is really fast, but Gemini Flash 3.0 variants are supposed to be faster. If Google nails the latency game, that's a differentiator, especially for enterprise apps where milliseconds matter. On multimodal, Gemini has the edge, at least in theory. Google owns YouTube, Google Photos, Google Lens, and they realize mind-blowing nano banana for images and VO3 for video generation. They can train on video and image data at a scale OpenAI can't match. If Gemini 3.0 actually integrates that with VO4, for example, it'll be a killer feature for content creators and marketers, and definitely can beat Sora 2. On context windows, both models go big. Gemini's 2 million token cap sounds impressive, but practical context limits are lower due to cost and latency. GPT-5's 128K is more realistic for most workflows. Call this one a tie? On agents, this is where it gets interesting. OpenAI launched Agentic Workflow, but they're still clunky. Gemini Enterprise promises native workspace integration, agents that live inside Gmail, Docs, Sheets, Calendar. If that actually works, it's a huge advantage for Google's existing user base. You're not switching platforms, you're just turning on a feature. And then there's GPT-6. OpenAI hasn't announced it, but leaks suggest it's in development. If Gemini 3.0 launches October 22nd and GPT-6 drops 6 months later, Google's window is short. They need to ship fast and ship well. Bottom line, Gemini 3.0 could match GPT-5 on reasoning and speed, beat it on multimodal, and potentially win on enterprise integration, but only if the execution is flawless. Google has stumbled before. Bard was a mess at launch. This time, they can't afford mistakes. Let's zoom out. Gemini isn't one model. It's a family and ecosystem. Understanding the pieces helps you predict what 3.0 will actually do. Gemini 2.5 Pro is the foundation. It's the flagship text and code model trained on Google's massive corpus. Everything else builds on top of this. Flash variants are the speed play. Gemini 2.5 Flash launched earlier this year, optimized for low latency responses. The rumored 3.0 Flash would take this further. Sub-second inference, edge deployment, mobile-friendly. Nano is the on-device model. It runs locally on Pixel phones and Chromebooks, handling tasks like voice transcription and quick replies. Gemini 3.0 Nano would likely integrate tighter with Android, maybe even powering real-time translation or live captions. VO is Google's video model. VO 4 is in testing, and it's supposed to be the best video generation tool yet. If Gemini 3.0 integrates VO 4, you could prompt, create a 30-second product demo, and get a polished clip in seconds. Nano Banana perfectly handles images. It's Google's answer to GPT-5 image generation and Midjourney OmniRef. Gemini 3.0 could unify Nano Banana into the same interface, so you're not switching tools. You're just asking for an image, video, or text, and Gemini figures it out. So Gemini 3.0 is less a single model and more an ecosystem. Ultra for power users, Pro for heavy lifting, Flash for speed, Nano for local, VO for video, etc. If Google pulls it together, it's a unified AI interface across every product they make. That's the vision anyway. So here's my take. The October 22nd date is plausible, but Google could announce it, or they could stay silent and let the hype cycle burn out. Either way, don't restructure your workflow yet. If you are an enterprise decision maker, keep an eye on Gemini Enterprise. If 3.0 launches and it's good, the workspace integration could save your team hours every week, but wait for the official release and test it before committing the budget. If you are a developer or indie founder, watch the API docs. If Gemini Beta 3.0 Pro goes live, experiment fast. The early adopters who figure out agentic workflows will have a 6-month edge over everyone else. If you are a content creator or marketer, the multimodal stuff where the value is. If VO4 and Nano Banana get baked into Gemini, you could replace 3 separate tools with 1 prompt. That's the dream anyway. And if you're just a power user who wants the best AI assistant, keep using what works. GPT-5 is excellent, Claude is excellent, Gemini 2.5 is already pretty good. 3.0 upgrade might be 10% better, but it won't change your life overnight. Try it when it launches. If it clicks, switch. No rush. So, what would you use Gemini 3.0 for first? Drop in the comments. And if you don't want to miss the full breakdown when Google actually launches this, hit subscribe. And if you are serious about staying ahead in AI without the chaos, check out AI Master Pro. It's the hub I mentioned earlier. Weekly digests, AI video lessons, built-in tools like Ask AI Master, and deep AI research, 300 plus prompts, and a community that's actually building. Links in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.